What's up, everybody? Welcome to Toy Story in Review, the kind of funny in review series that reviews and ranks each and every Toy Story movie so you have something to argue about on the internet. I'm your host, Greg Miller, alongside the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hey, guys.
That's it. That's the energy you're going to bring today, huh?
Hey.
All right. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Over there, the world's biggest Toy Story fan, Belinda Garcia.
What's up?
What's up is that I saw you talking shit on Twitter after episode one.
I was not talking
You were all like,
shit.
I'm not going to stand for any more Randy Newman bashing, but you did. You let it happen in episode one. You didn't stop it, all right?
I never saw it as bashing.
Oh, no. Nick Scarpino, producer slash producer Nick Scarpino, were we bashing?
The goal was to bash. That was a blatant criticism.
Shaming.
Bash Bros. Bash Bros right here.
The assholes.
Got a
The
friend.
assholes.
Tim Gettys is going full Tim Ragnarok, and his eye is falling out of his head. So
to
he's gone to a doctor to look into
We
that.
must restore the balance.
We'll get him, in the next movie, whatever.
Yeah.
For his Tim Endgame, he'll get or Infinity War, I guess, right? Get his eye back, yeah. How's everybody
all
doing?
the wars. Good.
Great.
Great.
Yeah? It's cool to be here leading this in review, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Because I've thought for a while, the show, a B. But I think we can get it to an A.
Yeah.
You know what I
All right,
mean? Now
let's
that
do it.
Tim's gone, we're here. Nick.
I haven't been on a good show that you've hosted in a really long time.
God damn, dude. We got a kind of funny podcast together each week.
I'm on that one.
I'm on that too.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Was everybody able to get to sleep at night knowing how we ranked Toy Story 1, the number one Toy Story? Or do we still feel confident in that?
I don't think we ever actually ranked it.
I don't think we
Was
did.
that a joke?
Well, yeah,
Is
that was a joke. Yeah, there's no reason to rank it. There's one
People
movie.
are like, why did they rank it?
Right.
There's one.
Come on,
Today will be the
people.
first one, of course, where we can argue about it. Thanks first off to our Patreon producers. Wait, nobody. There are no Patreon producers for the show, apparently. Boo.
Randy
Patreon.com/kinda
Newman
funny.
Fucking come at us,
Exactly,
Burt
that's
Meg.
how it is. Yeah, Burt Meg, where you at? You know
Where
what
you
I
at,
mean?
brosa?
And of course, we have sponsors, but we're recording in the future. Or wait, we're recording in the past. You're seeing the future, so we don't have the sponsors yet, and we also don't have
You're
haikus
seeing
and
in the
reviews.
present.
We're in the present, but to them it's the past, and we're talking to the future. You understand?
Right.
Gentlemen, lady, let's talk about Toy Story 2. Released November 13th, 1999. Don't worry about it, you know?
Insignificant other, Limp
How
Bizkit.
old were we all?
6.
Oh, now you're getting into math. I
I
was
was 11.
16. Driving a car. What about you, Nick?
What
How
month
old
was it in 1999?
November
November.
13th, 1999.
I was just a shy under 20. I was 19 years old.
Yeah?
When that movie came
Never
out.
been kissed?
I was probably on my no. I did a lot of making out in high school,
Awesome.
but I believed in love, so I didn't go
for
much
you.
further than that until I got my freshman year of college, and I was like, wow, I wasted 4 years with this bullshit called love.
Okay.
And
calm
now
down. Let's
I
not
just need to
too
get
serious about the love.
dirty.
What? Okay, cool.
Did you see? Is this when you saw? Oh, sorry, Barrett. You're one part of the show too.
I was 4 years old.
4 years. God damn it.
That's the only reason why he asked the question. He wanted to tell everybody how young he is.
Do you remember? Did you
We
see
know
this in
this.
theater, Nick?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Belinda, no.
Probably not.
I saw this in theaters, yeah.
True story. Watching it turns out it was the first time I've watched Toy Story 2
Shut
all
the
the way
fuck
through.
up.
Oh my
It
god.
started off and I'm like,
I don't
I
remember
don't
any
remember
of
any of
this.
this. And then eventually we get to the girl doll and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
The girl
Jesse.
doll.
You mentioned this last week.
Yeah, well, it turns out this is one of my Virgin America flights. That I just somewhere I think I might have just watched it with sound down. Even I was just like looking off somebody else's screen.
That's horrible.
All kidding aside, I watching this this is probably the second time I've ever seen this film. I remember watching
Yeah.
it in theaters and going, it's not Toy Story 1, I don't care. And I'm watching it again, I'm like, this is a lot better of a movie than I thought that I remember it being. I really enjoyed watching this one. I actually think I liked watching this one more than watching the first one because I'd seen the first one so many more times.
Well, don't tip your hat. You enjoyed watching it more, which I appreciate, is what you said. You didn't say which is a better movie. You didn't say which is a better movie.
bro.
And I
I was
appreciate
very
that.
careful with my words there, like normal.
You are. We
Like
call you
always.
the careful
Exactly.
man with words. Yeah, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Weirdo.
The lyrical poet.
So, Belinda, you didn't see it in theaters. Do you have a memory of watching this the first time?
Yes, I remember having the VHS and watching it multiple times.
Yeah.
I've definitely watched all the Toy Story movies more after the third one came out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because then you can just marathon. You're
I
a
loved
trilogy
them.
person.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand. All right.
Access to streaming and
Right.
renting on digitally.
Blueray.
Exactly,
These
that's what it
digital
is.
libraries.
Yeah, these digital libraries nowadays.
Yeah.
Right? Directed by John Lasseter. This is his directorial debut. Of course, he worked on Toy Story, Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Cars, and then Cars 2. From what I understand from the last episode, Tim has a chip on his shoulder about Cars 2.
It's
I think
not
a lot of people do.
great.
I've never seen either of the Cars, so I couldn't
Whoa.
tell you. I know,
Oh,
The
that's pretty
first
good.
one's
I like part
great.
one.
but I am a big fan of Larry the Cable Guy. Always tell me
Well,
to get
he's
heartburn
great.
medication.
This is
He's
meant for
great
you.
in the second one.
Yeah?
Well, he's
But that's the bad
more
movie.
prominent in the second one.
But then you also have Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow. Gee, I'm a car. Who would imagine? Wow.
Greg, really quick.
Yeah, Barry Courtney, what's happening?
You said this is his directorial debut.
It's
It
his
wasn't.
third.
It's his third movie that he's directed.
Well, fucking Tim.
This is what happens when one-eyed Timmy gives me notes. You know what I mean? I don't know. It says directorial debut, comma. I'm like,
It's
all right.
probably
Yeah, no.
copy and
So,
pasted
so
from
directorial
yesterday.
debut was Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it was
and then
Bugs
he-
Life. Then
yeah.
it was Toy Stories 2. Then it was Cars. Then it was Cars 2.
Right.
That's a really weird way to write that, Tim. Thanks for
Yeah.
nothing. Making me look like a
Yeah.
horse's ass out here.
Loser.
Budget of $90 million. Brought in, Nick,
Yeah.
$497.4 million.
So close to
them.
500, dude.
You think it's at this point they
What a
realize like
failure.
we should make more of these. These are killing. They are crushing.
Right. Well, it's
They do
for
great.
comparison's sake, right? Toy Story 1's budget was $30 million. It brought in a box office take of $373.6 million.
And that's not even counting like merch and their toys.
100%,
So I'm
right?
sure
Once they
it
became,
went
yeah. And that's what
up there.
I enjoy. I had to go find my own Easter eggs again. Tim can't see anything. He's out there just feeling walls trying to get to the office.
He's at echolocation.
Where are the walls?
He waits for the echo to
And
come
here's
back.
Kevin. And he's like, go the opposite way. of that.
This. Quiet. Skipper.
I enjoyed the Easter egg joke about the merch itself, right? Where they go to Al's Toy Barn and there's
Right.
all the Buzz Lightyears and they make a comment about there being a shortage because when
Right.
the first Toy
Screwed
Story
up,
came
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
people didn't understand how big that was going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that
was
was really
like
funny.
60,000 in U.S. and Canada, and then they Think-Away Toys ended up doing about 9 million. Yeah. Which is a lot.
Wait, dollars.
9 million.
Cents.
No, toys.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So
This-
in '95 they had a shortage right after the first movie.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
See, I never had. I
But
never.
you had one.
it's the
so
big
I
toy
wanted to
shortage.
ask-
The big toy shortage of.
I didn't know that was like a meta commentary. I just thought that was a commentary on like whenever something comes out and
Sure.
then people just order
No.
too much.
My
of it.
immediate thought: Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
right.
that was a big
that
one.
was a
the
big
great
deal. That was a big
Tickle
I
Me
remember that.
Elmo debacle.
Drought.
Man.
Couldn't find him anywhere.
That was the first time I ever experienced like that like I want one of these because I can't have it.
Sure.
And then people are like,
Like,
do you really want to tickle me Elmo? I'm like, I'm
no.
18. No, I don't want one, but I want one.
That was the thing. Is I
because
remember
everybody else
everyone
wants
has
it,
one.
so-
for my action figures, you made a lot of people commented, of course, when you were like, he's a little too old to be playing with toys or whatever. And I looked right at the camera because, of course, as you know, I played with toys way too late in high school. And so, like, I remember not getting a Buzz
Legoing
Lightyear.
it up my whole life.
Bro.
I still do.
What?
You're
bro?
still playing with toys. Have you seen your desk? I'll take a picture of it later. Literally,
Everyone's
there's
desk?
not a day
No.
that goes by, not mine, mine's clean. And a day goes by that I don't hear this. Go. Because Greg puts the one thing on it that knocks the other thing off.
That's not true.
Always.
That's not
Always.
true. That's
All
not
he
true.
does is lie.
I know, right? He makes it out like he's some.
But I believe Nick.
Yeah, come on, perfect.
God damn it! All
Instead
right.
of crushing
A
episode, okay,
runtime
okay.
of 1 hour and 32 minutes. Breeze is right.
Little
by.
longer, which I liked. Not
Yeah.
too bad because the first one I think was like 121 or something like that.
Yeah.
I felt a go short.
Sure.
This is a good.
But it
this is a
feels
good
like
one.
a full movie.
This feels like a very full movie.
This feels like a
Yeah.
real movie.
And
This
you know
feels
what?
like a better movie. This is a better movie.
I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I'll
this
be
is a better
honest.
movie.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I
To
think
which
it
part?
is.
To the
We're
part
too
where we
early.
talk
We're
about
too
that.
early.
We just have a good solid hour of me reading notes first, and then
Nick,
we'll get there.
Why don't you take me through the plot?
Greg, I'd
In
sure,
Woody's Roundup.
Woody's Roundup.
Thank you,
Woody's
Cameron
Roundup.
Cannon.
I'd sure love to, Greg. We begin where all great movies begin, in space.
Do you see
With
the first Easter egg?
the dope ass Superman titles?
Well, yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
But no, the constellation up there is the Pixar Luxo lamp. It's
Oh,
one
cool.
of the constellations up there you can see.
That was also the lamp. I'm not crazy. That was on Andy's desk, right? In the first one, the red one. He had a red one of those lamps. Doesn't matter. Let's move on. The
Shut
Toy
up.
Story 2 logo has way better shadows already. We're already seeing
Yeah, right, there's
way better.
textures.
Just like IV inclusion in this. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a much better movie. We're in the Gamma Quadrant, Sector 4, and let me ask you guys a question. Quick, go around the table. How many of those words did I spell wrong in that sentence?
Gamma Squad.
You spelled
all of them.
All of them.
All of
Greg
them.
nailed it.
nice.
Greg nailed
How'd you
it.
spell 4?
I just put a 4 up. Actually,
It's
didn't spell it
worse.
wrong. But
It's
sector
worse.
is
He
like
said grandma
everywhere.
quadrilateral.
Wow.
Did you try?
Quadrant sector. Buzz Lightyear rockets
He didn't
toward
even
a
try.
planet of some sort like a
So
comet.
bad.
He extends his wings and flies through the alien terrain. Landing, he surveys the surrounding and locates a Zerg's fortress. No signs of intelligent life, he says, anywhere. And then, of course, the camera zooms out comically, and there are robots fucking everywhere. Just everywhere. They start shooting at him, and he looks, and he shoots one of the crystals, and all of them refract
cool.
all over the
That was
place
really cool.
and kill all the things.
I love the little beep beep,
Yeah.
like the little robots.
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
out.
yeah. That's really cool.
And even from the beginning, where you talked about textures, but it's already happening. Just a better movie.
The animation,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
The
it just-
animation's there. It's
Well,
there.
it
been
feels
4
more like a
years.
modern animated Pixar
Right.
movie.
The,
at this
the
point.
intro is just fucking hype as hell.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Especially for people who are into like Buzz Lightyear Star Commands, like the TV show and the,
Right.
the video
Is that
game.
you? That's you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I
just
know
making sure.
Belinda's on that team too.
Yes.
I wasn't into the show, but again, I was just like all about Buzz Lightyear and the
Oh,
lore
so
and
cool.
stars and sci-fi and shit like that. So this is dope.
Yeah, Buzz goes up to a big door that looks a lot like the door from Jabba's palace, and of course, a little
Right.
eyeball pops out, just like Jabba's palace. So I thought it was a really cool little homage to that. He shoots it, and it sounds like when he shoots, it sounds like a heavy blaster, like
Yeah.
Han's heavy blaster, which
Yeah.
is cool. The door splits open, and Buzz enters the palace. Zurg tries to kill him with a giant spiky thing, but he dodges it and enters a large room where they have the sort of the prize there, the AA battery floating in space, which kind of I want
Source of Zurg's power.
Yeah, I kind of want to say it smacks of the idol from Indiana Jones
Yeah.
and the last. Or not
There's
Last
so many
Crusade,
references in
Raiders of
just
the Lost Ark.
this opening sequence.
He goes to do that, and of course, when he goes in, it's just a red herring. It's not there actually.
Dun, 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 dun.
Da, 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 da. We hear. I put a note in here that we hear the 2001 Space Odyssey theme as he traverses those little plates, which is cool. He falls, but he elevates himself with a gravity field, which is important because we see him Bad Buzz try to do that later,
Right.
and of course the elevator lifts him up, which is interesting. But when he grabs the battery, what's that?
And beyond, he does that whole thing.
Exactly.
He yells that. That's his catchphase, Nick. I didn't know if you know this.
No, I have it written a couple times, but I had no context
Worth
for
pointing
that.
out, you
It's
call
spelled
that
wrong, though.
Han's blaster, right? There's a bunch of other ones here, right? Where apparently it's lightsaber sounds when he puts his hand through the
Through the
hologram
battery,
stuff.
yeah, I was gonna
Toy
get
box
that.
trivia. Right
Right
there.
there. I don't know.
Really, really
Give me
cool.
the song.
It's time for some trivia.
Let's all talk shit about Randy.
No, he's not.
It's barely even in this.
Yeah, no way. Except it was like this. You know what I really loved about Toy Story? Everything but all the Randy
No,
Newman
you're
songs.
Oh my
Let's
God, that's
just
what
get
it
Randy
makes.
out of
Think
it.
of the exec who greenlit Toy Story 1, and they're like, we want Randy Newman. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Whoever
Put him in there. This movie's gonna fail.
Fucking fart in a
Movie gets-
microphone. I don't care. It takes off. He's like, fuck. God damn it.
Why did they put 17? It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Fucking full of shit.
Zerg, I get on a thread.
I
We just
know.
gotta pull it. We
Once
gotta
you get
pull it.
going.
Be great when we get. It just feels so good being
Bash
bad. Bash Bros.
As long as you
Zerg
can
pops
admit
up.
it.
It's a trap, right? Zerg starts blasting him, and he starts overwhelming him, and Buzz gets it in the chest, and boom, explodes. And we pull out,
Disintegrates.
and it is a video game. Game over. We're back in Andy's room, and Rex is playing with Buzz. They're playing the Buzz Lightyear video game.
Jared
And
Petty.
I love this. I love that.
Great edit, by the way, on the internet. Somebody said when
It
you
was
say,
awesome.
hey, Rex is Jared Petty.
Wait,
and they took Jared
Tim.
Petty out.
It was Tim who brought it up. So like, I wanted to tweet. I wanted to reply and say, "Hey, this was Tim," but then it sounded like I was blaming him because I didn't want Jared to think that I was making fun of
That's
him.
fine.
Sure.
But it was really Tim's joke. It was Tim's original comparison. So
So you are trying to attack Tim here and let Jared Petty's hate flow onto Tim.
Well, Tim can't defend himself.
Yes,
'cause he's
exactly.
not here,
Tim's
so.
not in the room. Talk shit
It's a
about
good
Yeah.
time.
Do you think that Jared Petty is the reason Tim lost this eye?
Yeah.
But here's
Wow.
the thing,
Yeah.
Tim.
Him and Scott Baio.
Tim, no eyes, but he
Good
can
guy.
hear us from in his house.
Now he's
over
got
there.
better hearing?
Yeah.
He's
We
like
should
Daredevil.
future-proof this episode just to be careful. This is happening. We're recording it on the day where Tim's eye is all red and infected. If in fact he does lose the eye, we didn't know. We're not that callous.
yeah.
But it will be.
Cool. We're gonna batten down the hatches. Hey Joey, see if we can get a mobile pirate ship here out front. That'd be real fun to drink on. That'd be really good. Back into it. Of course, Rex can never get past. Rex can never get past this level.
Yeah.
This part of the level, which is important for later in the game.
jump.
I can't, yeah.
His hands are too small.
So cute.
Of course, Woody's
Arms
looking
too
for his
small,
hat
sure.
because Andy is leaving for cowboy camp very soon, and so everyone starts looking for it. We meet Mrs. Potato Head, which is great. And I think she's voiced by George Costanza's mom,
She
right?
is.
Yes.
She is.
Yeah. Estelle Harris.
Estelle Harris, fantastic in this.
Is she the
pointing
mom
out-
in Ray Romano? Is she the mom in
Seinfeld?
No, she was the mom in Seinfeld.
and Everybody Loves Raymond? Oh, okay.
When
Everyone
she
loves
gets
Raymond. Very similar actress.
when
but
Mrs. Potato
different.
Head gets introduced here, she's reading the book version of A Bug's Life.
Oh,
There's
that's
a lot
cute.
of Bugs Life stuff.
Yeah,
lot of Bug's
there's a
Life
Bug's
stuff.
Life calendar in the room. There's the
They use a lot
blooper
of
at
the
the end.
models.
Right there, which is hilarious. Woody, of course, very, very, very flustered, but Will reminds him to look under his foot, and then he looks and he sees that there's Andy's name, and she goes, "The boy who wrote that would take you to camp with or without your hat." So it's very important that he.
True story though, he wouldn't.
No, he doesn't actually. 'cause
How you know he's a
that's
cowboy
right.
without a hat?
Because he got hurt. He broke. Oh, go ahead.
Rex accidentally hits a button on the TV, and
Don't
we
feel
see.
bad about interrupting
No,
us.
no,
We
just
interrupt each other
shoot
all
in
the time.
there. Shoot in there. Don't worry
No,
about
he's
it.
plot dude.
The part of the fun is that I get lost and you guys can make fun of me, so that's fun. Rex accidentally hits a button on the TV, and it gets super loud because we see, again, another advertisement for Al's Toy Barn with a dude in a giant chicken suit. And we don't realize just yet who it is, but we get another famous Seinfeld actor in this, Newman, which is great. Or Nedry, depending on where your touchstone is for this actor, because he was fantastic in Jurassic Park
Yeah.
as well. Sling comes...
Didn't
You
say the
didn't say the
magic
magic word. I always wanted to use the Gillette shaving cream after that. You know, with the can. I always thought it was cool, but they never.
Yeah.
Turns out the cans don't actually do that. Slink comes in with what he's had. He's found it. That's the good news. The bad news is he found it with Buster and his dog. And but a real cute scene where they all
He
hide.
has fur.
And Buster, what's that?
The dogs have fur.
Getting close to the fur. Not haven't nailed the fur yet,
Better-
but we're getting close
better
to it.
fur.
He's a wiener dog. It's worth pointing out.
Yeah, it's
He's a wiener dog, like all good dogs
Reminds me
are.
a lot of Porty when he was young.
He busts in and we think he's going to be like Scud from the other movie where he's going to kill everyone, but it turns out this is just a game they play with him. He ferrets out
So
Woody
cute.
and pulls him out and he starts licking him and they got him.
Oh.
So apparently it's okay to talk to dogs, but not humans.
Yeah.
Just let us know you're
And
alive.
not only that,
toys.
the dogs can completely understand them.
100%.
Oh,
do
they're
exactly
fully
what
They
they
speak better dog than
Bullshit
human.
movie.
Maybe do you think it's like one of those things where when they finally do talk to humans, where they see it from our perspective and it's just arf 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 arf, and like they've been speaking dog the whole time? I'll go back to the plot. Andy comes in and has 5 minutes left. Nope. No, that's fine. Yeah, they've been timing it. There's it doesn't matter. Andy comes in and has 5 minutes left until they leave for cowboy camp. So he stages another. He's like, "What are we gonna do? Stage another fun little play session."
Seems like he should be packing or hang. You know,
These
what I
are-
mean?
this
Like,
is what
why is
kids
he
do,
putting all his
though.
toys out?
he already
He just
mom
needs
already
to
made
bring
him
Woody.
pack.
He doesn't need to pack anything.
His mom's gonna be like,
He's
your
always
fucking
packing
room's a
Woody.
mess. You're gonna be gone for 2 months or however long it is. How long is cowboy camp?
Unfortunately, probably a week.
Yeah, it's kind of vague.
Oh, shit.
Kind of vagued up.
What do you do
just
at
let-
cowboy camp?
Learn how to
You
lasso
ride
him.
them.
Are there mules
You
at
ride each
cowboy
other?
camp?
You ride cowboy.
There might be
There's no mules there.
Turns out this is just Andy has to go back and train for the one day he has to kill the mule that killed his father. That's from last episode. Of course, Andy plays with him just a little too hard, and what happens? Woody gets a little bit of a tear in his arm, and Andy just is like a total dick about it. He's like, "Well, can't take you now. You're totally broken and shitty. I'm going to put you on the shelf." And he literally
He tombstone pile
shelves
drives
him.
him. Throws him out the window.
No, to be fair, it's mom who.
I thought mom put him up there.
But did mom put him up there?
Yeah.
Well, I guess mom did put him up there because she also says, "quote Toys don't last forever." Right?
Also,
Which is
we're
the
pointing out
theme
the
of
mom,
this.
Laurie Metcalf, if you remember.
Another
from
Laurie Metcalf.
Pacific Heights, the
Lady
lawyer.
Bird.
Exactly.
And again, I tweeted
Pacific
about
Heights.
this. She
And
looks like
Jackie.
she looks exactly like Brie Larson.
Yeah, that
It
was
blew
really
my
creepy.
mind. It's really bizarre.
The mom character.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Of course, Andy then just puts him on the shelf and leaves for camp. Later that week, Andy comes back and realizes, oh, I'm sorry. It's another one for Patreon people.
Oh man, come on.
Oh, God, what is this?
What is wrong with me?
What does it say, Belinda? Highlight it for Belinda, and then she'll tell me if it's worth it.
Oh my God! I put okay. Here you go. There you go.
Yeah, Barrett.
Later that week, Andy comes back and
Just her reaction scares me.
yeah. Andy comes back, of course, and looks at it and goes, "I don't want to play with you anymore." Throws Woody into a nightmarish trash can with dismembered arms grabbing him, and boom,
Very
he pops
scary.
up. It's a dream. Very scary.
Super scary.
Woody wakes up and finds, who does he find on the shelf? Wheezy.
Wheezy.
Oh, Wheezy. He's like, "Wheezy, where have you been all this time?" He's like, "I've been out here.
It's Donald Duck Day, guys.
People would have checked up there because they can move around. It's like, your legs aren't broke. Why don't you come down?
Yeah.
It's weird.
You're plastic, too. Like that soft, like squeaky plastic. You just fall off, no problem.
Yeah. No limbs to break.
Yeah.
Of course, his little squeaker broke, unfortunately, and Andy shelved him too. And he's like, "Man,
Well,
we're all
no,
just-
the mom did. And I like how she lied. She was like, "Oh, we're gonna go get you fixed," then never did. Just
Oh,
put 'em
right,
up
that's
there,
right.
and
That's
That's
what
the
it
end
was.
of it.
That's what parents do, man.
Yeah, they lie to
They
you.
just don't
Your parents are
understand.
lying to you right now, kids. They're drunk.
And so it's really, really sad. And Woody's starting to feel his age here and realizing that maybe he will be discarded one day too. And what do we see next? Of course, Andy's mom is making a yard sale.
Doing the yard sale.
Because this is what moms do, everyone. If you're out there and you're watching this and you're a kid, you haven't gone to cowboy camp yet.
Yeah.
When you go to cowboy camp, that's just an excuse for your mom to throw shit away that you
Yeah.
have.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what she does here.
Hey, she's conservative when she goes through them, which I appreciate. She comes in with that box. Wheezy, of course, marked for death.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
Wheezy
though, pretty
sucks.
much good. There's like a rusty roller skate under there, some crap
Yeah.
like that she grabs. But Rex,
There's
a worthless, stupid
there's
toy.
Fake outs. Like,
Yeah.
she picks him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
You get
scary.
scared.
Yeah.
Of course, Woody thinks fast. He calls for Buster and rides him down like a horse down. And then it's a really cute part where
Again,
they get
that's where he's
outside.
talking to him.
Yeah.
What's that?
He can talk to him.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
come on, Buster. And Buster's like, I don't fucking understand what you're saying. I speak perfect English. I was an English major in college.
Act cool. Play
And
cool.
yeah, he goes really cute too.
Act
Play
real
casual.
casual.
Yeah,
Play casual.
So cute.
Too casual.
Yeah, too casual. Again, haven't really nailed Thor yet, but we give them, we forgive them on that one. Woody sneaks into the 25-cent box, and then as they're watching, they're trying to figure out what the hell Woody's doing. And I think it was Potato Head or Rex that goes, "Oh, Woody, you're worth more than that."
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cute.
A lot of good lines from Rex in this movie. I thought he had a lot of great
Yeah,
lines.
and then he goes, he pulls out Wheezy, and then they go, "Oh, it's not suicide, it's a rescue." Buster jumps up and bucks Woody, and some piece of shit kid grabs Woody, but her mom grabs it back and says, "Hey, no,
No, that
that's
ain't
a
not for
family
sale."
heirloom,"
Yeah.
which is cool because we don't really know why he would have this antiquated. I always wondered that about the first one, right? You're like, this toy is not a modern toy. It's made out of like, the cloth. The joints are sewn. They're not actual
it's aged,
it's very aged. And so she goes, that's a family heirloom that's been in our family for a really long time. And that's the first note that there's more to Woody's backstory that we haven't seen before. Of course,
we'll get there, I guess. The whole fan theory.
Okay, hold on. Her mom tells her no way, throws it back in. But who should?
Mules.
The mules, man, made of cloth. Who should pick him back up, though?
Newman.
Right, and this is the first time we see Al. We don't really know it's Al, but we haven't seen him yet. Right,
He's like, freaks out.
Newman is a collector and offers the mom honestly money she probably should have taken. $50 for a single
He's
parent.
worth way more than that.
I mean, but yeah, she didn't know that. Like, take the money. The kid's not gonna know. Where was your doll? I don't know. It's here somewhere. Kid'll forget
You
about
lost
it.
him multiple times.
Yeah,
before,
multiple times. You clearly don't care.
But again, it's a family heirloom. Like that could have been her dad's or something. Like
Right.
a lot of
Or her late
personal
husband's.
matter. Oh yeah.
Or her late husband's who
Very
was killed
true.
by me.
Mom says no, but Newman creates a diversion anyway with the skateboard and steals him. He throws Woody in a bag and then
Rude.
stashes the bag in the back of his car. Buzz, realizing this is all going down, and is like, dude, I'm on to this.
he
Jumps
risked
down.
his life for me once. I'll risk mine for
Love
his.
it. I love it.
Very good,
Rips
very
down,
good.
tries to open the trunk to Newman's car, but as he opens it up, it bucks him off when the hood opens, and then random feathers start to fly down, which is important. He picks one up. He's like, what the hell is this all about? Then, of course, we go back to Newman's office. We'll call him Al from now on. Al's office, in which we see the sign that says no kids allowed. So we get this guy's collecting toys,
It's
but
his
it's not.
apartment.
It's his
We go back
apartment.
to his
That's right.
apartment.
Sorry.
Across the street from the barn.
Across
We
the
don't know.
street
We
from
don't
the
know
barn.
that yet, though.
Convenient.
True.
Which is fun. That's a fun little scene where he gets in the car and drives, and then
Yeah.
just drives across the street and parks. Like, why would you do that? Back in Annie's room, they've recreated the crime scene with the Etch-a-Sketch, doing a sketch of the guy, which this is
Very
just
cute.
great. They got all the
amazing.
toys out there. They recreated it all. He's doing a sketch. Let's see. Buzz figures out that it's Al from Al's Toy Barn because he figures, like, why would there be chicken feathers? And then goes like, draw this guy. Wait a minute, I've seen this guy before. Draw him in a chicken. Boom, that's Al from Toys Barn. And then we get a great back to Newman's apartment. Newman's back in the chicken suit. He's got Woody in the glass case and is very excited about how much money Woody's going to bring to him. We learn that he's going to sell him for something. He leaves to do his
in
next.
Japan.
No, I don't think we learned that just yet. But yeah,
Okay, my
there's going to
apologies.
be a museum in Japan. I don't think we learned that until the prospector shows up. He leaves to do his next commercial, and Woody tries to escape, but he can't reach the doorknob, and then looks out the window. He's like 100 stories up, so he's like, I'm screwed. Woody tries to loosen the vent, but something behind him draws his attention. Suddenly, he is picked up by a horse, and that horse's name is...
Bullseye.
Bullseye is the horse's name.
He's like a little puppy. So
I
cute.
It's great.
I love it.
It rides him around with joy, and Woody's like, what's going on? And then it bucks him off to none other than... Give me the full name of her.
Jessie,
The
cowgirl.
Yodeling Cowgirl. That's right. You
Wow.
nailed it. She's very excited to meet Woody, and we're starting to get a sense that Woody comes from a bigger family
Universe.
here. Yeah.
He's like Star-Lord almost.
Exactly.
We're learning his lineage.
And then, of course, this is confirmed when Bullseye brings out Stinky Pete, the prospector, who's never been outside of his box. I love this.
Mint
Like, he's
condition.
just stuck in this
Mint.
box and won't leave. Of course, we learn later that's a fucking clever ruse. Stinky
Yeah.
Pete.
Kelsey Grammer.
You've been out there a lot. Played by
Beast.
Kelsey Grammer.
He's so good at his.
yeah.
Yeah. I love him.
Also note Jesse, I believe, is played by
Joan
Joan
Cusack.
Cusack. Yeah. Who is phenomenal in
Also
Gross Point
Beast.
Blank and pretty much everything. Yeah,
When you
everything's
said
good.
Kelsey Grammer Beast, my immediate thought was like, oh, like he's a beast of
He's
an
a
actor.
beast.
That was
No,
my,
he played Beast.
Yeah.
In the
But he
hit
is a beast
film
of an actor.
X-Men.
Also,
3.
he was on TV for like 1,000 years in Cheers and Frasier.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's before you guys were
Sure,
born.
yeah.
Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling.
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Hey, Niles.
Hey, so goodbye, Seattle.
Because Niles was married to that woman he didn't
Maris.
like.
We never saw Maris.
No, but then he was in love with the
Daphne.
Miles
And then-
looks like a Pixar character come to life.
cool.
Real quick, going back to the moment where he figures out Al's Toy Barn, like that always like psychs me up as a kid where he finds out of like he saw the license plate and is like
Oh,
trying to,
that's
like,
what it was. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah,
I skipped that
yeah,
point.
yeah,
So he's like typing
Mr.
in, and
Spell.
he's like he's doing the Mr. Spell, where he's like, what could this combination of words be?
The
And-
anagram or
yeah,
whatever.
and like all the other toys was like it's just a license plate. It's like all jumbled up, and then where he's
As
like,
usual, all the other toys dismissive and stupid.
yeah, and then he types in Al's Toy Barn when he says it out loud, and then he turns and says like, draw that man into chicken suit.
That's right. That's
another
how it works.
ass moment, man.
That was really, really good. Sorry, I glossed over that, but I did have a note on that one. I did do my job. I promised, Tim. Don't fire me. Let's see. The prospector.
my head.
God. Arrgh. You got a hook hand to your
Different
nose.
eye.
Like your hand fall off too?
Kevin will be like, oh, can I be your first mate?
Oh, I'll carry you around like I'm your plank. You can walk me.
If you think about it, he's basically Mr. Potato Head. He's losing his eye.
Oh my
Pretty
god.
much.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's really sad. Prospector, of course, tells Woody that Woody doesn't really know who he is, does he? And Bullseye jumps up on the table and turns on a light. We see just a megaton of Roundup memorabilia, including a Life magazine cover with Woody on it. Bullseye then, just really holding down the fort here, puts a VHS tape in the player, and we watch an old episode of Roundup with all of the characters that we're seeing here, including Woody as the main star. But they're all worth noting, they're all on strings like marionettes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
Very
so
cool.
sort of old school, very old school. Back in Andy's room, the toys are flipping through channels to find Al's Toy Barn commercial.
I got
Such a great
some
scene.
trivia here
Give it
for
to
you,
me.
of course. As Ham flips through the TV channels looking for the Al's Toy Barn commercial, frames from several Pixar projects go by, including Tin Toy, Knick Knack, Red's Dream, Luxo, Junior, Pixar's Listerine commercial, and their old logo from the 80s.
Thank you, new Tim. Of
No
course,
problem. I have both eyes, so I'm the better Tim.
Rex is doing this first, and then Ham's like, "You're not doing this fast enough," and he goes, bah, 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 and he has a great part.
Amazing.
He has a great part where he passes it and like go back. He's like, "Good, too fast. I've got too far."
It's such a great line.
Yeah,
It's
you
such a
just
great
go,
line.
Mar, you do the math, and like just
Yeah.
keep going forward. You
Yeah,
just gotta
yeah.
get back to it.
Because Disney was like 55, and I think like Cartoon Network was 54, and then Nick was 53. So like I would just
Yeah.
go
It's like,
Gotta go around
and
again. Of course, they find it, and then Etch really quickly like recreates the map of the location,
Yep.
so they can figure out where they're at, which is really cool.
Etch is clutch.
A lot of really fun moments like that, like Barrett was talking about these like,
Detective moments.
really cool. Like this is kind of a heist detective movie,
Yeah.
and that's
They
what I
gave
like. about it.
everybody more to do.
Yeah, way more to
everybody's
do.
got more abilities, and they're doing things that are all part of the team.
Splitting them up was great.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their own thing.
And then this, of course, is a point where we get that line that you said earlier, where Buzz says, "Woody risked his life to save him. What kind of a friend would I be if I didn't do the same?"
What
and
a
everyone's like,
fucking
"You're crazy,
G,
dude."
dude.
So they put together the Avengers. That's right, Buzz, Rex, Slink, and Mr. P. All take off to go save him. Meanwhile, back at Al's apartment, Woody, Jesse, and Bullseye are marathoning Roundup episodes, and it honestly kind of looks like a fun show
So
to me.
cute.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Singing, dancing, cowboy stuff.
We get to an episode that has a cliffhanger, and Woody wants to see the next one, but guess what? There's no more. They got canceled. You know why? Because of Sputnik. That's right. Once we went to the moon,
Spaceman.
everyone wanted spacemen, and Woody has a great moment where he's like, "I get it."
I want to ask a logistical question here.
Sure.
They say it's the next episode is going to be the last episode. Why not just fucking air the last episode and then cancel it? Why cancel it?
Well,
This happens in
It's like
real
the-
life
it happens
now
all the time.
and stuff.
What happens is they'll end the season like 2 or 3 season finale on a cliffhanger, meaning to come back in the next one, and they just cancel them. It's happened.
It just felt so weird that they made a point to say it's like the next episode was going to be the last one or whatever.
Was it? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. I just thought they were going to bring it back
I
another season.
thought they said
I don't think
that.
they say that. I think that's just a cliffhanger. Find out what happens next
Gotcha,
episode.
gotcha.
Nicholas.
Yes, sir.
Woody's Roundup ends on what date? What date is it canceled?
Oh, I don't know.
January 12th, 1957.
Harry Potter's birthday.
John Lasseter's birthday.
Oh, that's nice. Woody, of course, then goes around and starts playing with a bunch of old
Yeah,
toys,
well.
including a literal snake and a literal boot, which
Yeah,
I thought was
that's cute.
fun. Oh,
Yeah,
he's like, I
I
get
like
it.
that. I
Snake
got
and a
that.
boot. Got it. And then, of course, they start playing with the record player
It's
that's
my
playing.
favorite scene
Yeah.
of the whole movie.
Yeah, they twirl around it and
So
they play
great.
with the speed and they look at us. So we're a complete set, which is really, really nice.
Happy
And now,
family.
guess what? It's on to the museum. And he's like, what? And they're like, yeah, we're being sold to the Konishi Toy Museum in Tokyo. That's in Japan. Woody freaks out. He can't do that. He can't go to Japan. He's got to get back home to his owner, Andy. And Jessie says, you still got an owner? And then she freaks out. She doesn't want to go back in storage because apparently she's been there for a very, very long time. And that sounds like a living hell. I thought you have something to say?
No.
Oh. You do this purse thing with your lips. I just get lost in it.
I'll
sometimes.
introduce you.
Got it. Guess what? The museum only wants them if they send the full set. So,
Nobody wants Stinky Pete on his own.
No, Stinky Pete sucks. He's a
sucks,
shitbag. They argue, but guess what? Al comes back and cuts it short. Jesse doesn't want to go back in the box, but Pete talks her into it. He says, you're going to get out of that box. Don't worry about it. Just get back in there. And then Al tries to arrange all the toys and accidentally catches Woody's arm, which finally pulls off. Al freaks and calls the cleaner to fix it, but the cleaner can't get there until tomorrow. Foreshadowing one of probably the best scene in the whole movie.
It's
I just like
It's
this.
shot so beautifully.
It's really well done. He exits and the gang convinces Woody he can't escape until he has an arm. He won't last a minute on those mean streets with one arm.
Yeah.
Even though you're tiny and really nothing's gonna happen to you. The guys, meanwhile, are outside continuing their search for Woody. Only 18 more blocks to go. But you have to imagine with their little feet. This is hard. This is not easy.
Yeah.
For them.
It's
Granted,
a
they
big
don't burn
journey.
calories like humans, so whatever. They're just spirit
They
freaky
can't
animals.
cramp up. Yeah, you're right.
Woody spots his arm in Al's pocket as Al sleeps on the couch. This is a great scene where
Yeah.
he has to sneak through a minefield of cheese puffs.
Love it.
Which I think is great.
Really funny.
Then he's sneaking around and he hears someone like crunch on a cheese puff behind him. Looks at him, Bullseye's like, oh, like because he's following like a puppy,
Yeah.
which is great. And then of course we get the scene where he gets up on him as he's about to grab. Bullseye starts licking his fingers and tickling him.
Yeah.
and he's like, get out of there! What are you doing? Al snores. Woody sneaks up, grabs the arm, and then what should happen? TV goes on. Wakes Al up while Al realizes that Woody's out of his case with the arm, puts Woody back in the case, takes the arm for himself, and walks out, locks the door.
But also very careless. Cheeto fingers everywhere. Cheeto fingers.
Cheeto fingers.
Just grabbing Woody.
Hey, the cleaner's coming. Who cares? Cleaner's going to be doing a bang-up job no matter
Exactly.
what. The damage is done.
Yeah.
Woody, of course, and Jess, they wait till he leaves, and then
If
he
he
gets...
was eating them with chopsticks, that wouldn't happen.
All right, get out of here.
Well,
You know what? Then you don't get the salty savoriness of your own fingers in your mouth.
Your sweat and
Maybe it's
oils.
maybe it's an '80s thing. I don't know. Of course, Woody's pissed and he accuses Jesse of using the remote. To turn on the
Remote's in
TV.
front of Jesse, right?
Right, exactly. So
Clearly her.
Clearly her.
Fucking
right?
narc, dude.
And he says
Cool
if,
Greg
the,
would
boot,
stand
if the
for this.
boot fits, which I thought was cute.
Oh, such a good
And then they find the prospector breaks him
If
up.
the boot
fits.
And she clowns him out. She clowns him out because he's only got the one arm. Can't fight
Yeah.
him.
It's true.
He's like Jamie Lannister.
Exactly.
It's funny, I-
Blade
it's-
hands.
Spoilers.
Blade hands.
It's so funny because I take notes on this, so I don't actually watch it. I just kind of take notes on what's going on, so I miss 90% of the fun shit that's happening. But I'm
Or
glad you
Winter
guys are
Soldier.
here.
Just start keeping the notes up here like I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not as smart as you are. We've already proved this multiple times,
Yeah.
but I am faster.
Don't flatter.
Wow.
You got to hire a job. You got to hire a
You see him?
vertical. But man, I'll beat you in the fucking quarter mile.
You think you can beat me in a quarter mile race?
I think neither of us could make a quarter mile right now. That's a lot.
KFAF.
Yeah,
KFAF.
you
I'm down.
wanna do it?
The foot
Cool.
race to end all foot races.
The prospector, of course, breaks him up and he says, I have no idea how the TV turned on, but once the cleaner comes tomorrow and fixes Woody, you can leave. Okay? Just get all fixed up. Buzz and the guys finally find Al's toy barn. Why did and this is a great line, he goes, why did the toys cross the road? To get to the chicken on the other side. And we see... there's a gigantic street.
My favorite part's right here.
in the middle of- and then I keep saying the best scene, but this probably is the best scene where they use the cones.
And the cars keep getting redirected. And
They're like, that was easy. And they look over and it's just a 20 car pileup.
No, but I do love the part of like, we just have to cross the road and then cars driving by and Rex goes, oh, well, we tried. He like, tries to like leave. So cute.
Of course, when they get to the other side, we, as the audience, they don't know this yet, but we as the audience know that the apartment building on the other side is Al's apartment building, which, so they're
They
looking
were
in the
right
wrong
there, they
place.
didn't know.
Sadly, they didn't know.
Right under their nose,
But
dude.
upstairs, speaking of Al's apartment building, upstairs, the cleaner has arrived.
And you want
arrived.
to talk about a pedophile? This guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
This guy's eating a lot of, like, kids' kidneys.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
exactly.
He likes the kidneys,
Yeah,
specifically.
specifically.
12-year-olds.
lot of
Man, I thought you were going to go into the
allegation,
ad read there, like the break for the ad read. I was like, don't say it. But eating kidneys came out of my mouth, and that's
And
just
it's
I'm sticking
Jerry
with it.
from Jerry's Game, from the Pixar short.
Yeah,
Jerry's Game.
that's right.
Oh, okay.
Because they wanted to put someone in, but
chess
they were
guy.
like, don't make us render a new character. So they just used him.
That's funny.
Yeah. that's
I love this scene though because there's some part of my brain that just wants to retire and restore things, and this just looks great. He roses up the cheeks,
But it's
you
a
know?
little chair. It's a little chair with the hydraulic.
Yeah, he puts him in the dentist chair. It's like it's a little vice in his
Yeah,
chair.
the little bib.
Yeah, you know.
It's some ASMR shit right there.
Oh, it's great. I would watch that all day. If I could just restore old toys like that, I would do that all day.
Yesterday,
I like that
Kevin
he-
was watching a guy restore a Game Boy, and it was just sounds
Whoa.
of just like a little cleaning. I was like,
love
wow,
it.
that's so peaceful.
relaxing. Spray paints the bald spot on the back of his head that had a special place in my heart. I was like, wish someone could do that for me.
Just if it could be that easy.
And then finally, the
Luckily,
last.
with forhims.com, it is.
You can, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe they're a sponsor. Maybe
That-
they're not.
we don't know. We don't know.
Sponsors. Of course, the very final thing that he does to him after rosing up the cheeks and sewing the arm back on, all that stuff, is he paints over Andy's name on his foot, which is like heartbreaking. We don't quite understand the relevancy of that until a bit later. But meanwhile, back at Al's Toy Barn, the store is closed. And they're like, shit, what do we do now? We got to wait. Except one of the employers enters and he uses the little automatic door, the weight on the automatic door. So Buzz calls the ball and says, let's go. And they try to get in and they can't because they're not waiting enough. So they go all at once and they all jump at once
very
and
funny.
land and the door opens, which is great.
Also, that character model for the employee at the store that walks in, he's like weirdly, perfectly kind of his body proportions are really like human-like. It was
Yeah.
really kind of bizarre. He looked like a video game character. I don't know. It threw me off. I was like, he doesn't look like all cartoony and weird shaped.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like his head was perfect shaped. And
It looked
shit.
like it was like somebody green
just like
screened
a
in.
dude. Yeah.
As opposed to
Green
like Al,
screened in.
whose like proportions
Yeah.
are like all
Yeah.
really off.
Yeah, Al is so cartoony looking.
When they walk in, of course, they walk by a display of Buzz Lightyear video game stuff, and Rex looks over and sees a strategy guide too, which I
Yeah.
love. He's like,
I
"What?
need it."
A strategy guide?" And then he just proceeds to complain the rest of the time about how you have to buy this
The
guide. Or
system's
you can't.
rigged.
It's extortion, is what he says. It's completely ridiculous. And this is also where we get the shot that we talked about earlier, where Buzz walks in and sees like the full spectrum of
A
Buzz dolls.
grandiose shot.
It's beautiful.
Exactly. And then he looks over. He's like, a utility belt. I got to get me one of
Yeah,
those.
that's really good.
So he tries to take the utility belts. But the other Space Ranger comes to life and puts him in an arm lock and is like, dude, you can't do this. And so he will be referred to now as Bad Buzz.
Bad
and
Buzz,
original Buzz will be Good Buzz. Okay? That's where they're going to go. They
Bear,
fight.
are you keeping up with this?
No.
Damn it.
And of course, Bad Buzz is as delusional as Good Buzz was in Toy Story 1. And Buzz has a couple of great moments where he's like, I can't believe I was ever that delusional. That's ridiculous. Meanwhile, the rest of the guys find the party of the century. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A display of Barbie dolls are just putting that shit down. And I'd be like, right there, I'd be like, let's take a little break. We walked 18 blocks. Let's just hang out and have a cocktail here.
Well,
See
that's what they
happens.
do, right? Well,
Yeah.
when Barbie jumps into the Jeep, right? And Mr. Potato's head is like, you're a Mary Potato, you're a Mary Potato.
Yeah,
And Ham's like, I'll make room for some of the single guys.
All
great.
the Barbies are voiced by Jodie Benson, who voices Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ariel, yeah.
Now, wait, were they,
She
they
also
weren't,
voices the Barbie in 3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
now, they weren't referred to Barbies in the first one, right? You said something about that on the last one. That
Yeah,
they didn't
Mattel
have the
turned them
Barbie.
down, right, for any kind of
And they were like, oh, this is a good idea.
And
Let's
they're like,
get
oh,
him
wait, this movie's a huge hit.
You can have 50.
Yeah, so they get them all of them, including tour guide Barbie, who goes with them and tours them around. That's right, Ham tries to get down, and she's not having that. Meanwhile, Buzz puts Good Buzz back in the box and like ties him up to await court-martial, quote
Horrifying.
unquote. It's very horrifying. Puts him back on the shelf, and the guys mistake the imposter, Bad Buzz, for original Buzz, who
Because they're all
goes
idiots as usual.
right, who goes with them because Rex has quote unquote figured out. He's talking about
How
the
to
strategy
take
guy.
Zurg.
I figured out how to defeat Zurg, and he's like, I'll go with you. That's great. Very, very good writing here. Back at the apartment, Al is taking glam shots of the gang. He gets a call from the museum curator and just takes off again. A lot of him getting calls. You would think he could just do the call there, but he's got to go across the street. I don't understand. Just gets him out of the apartment. I get it. Yeah. Woody is stoked. He's like new, and he's gonna have a hard time ripping his arm off now. Woody still wants to leave, but Bullseye gives him the sad eyes, and Jessie storms out and goes and sits on the windowsill. And Woody's like, "What the fuck is her fucking deal?
Why
bro?
is she like this?
Why is she like this?" The prospector tells Woody, "Hey man, you got to make amends with her before you leave. It's the least you can do. Jessie's been through a lot." And we're like, "Oh, she's just been in a box the whole time." And then let's see. Woody tells Jessie he has to go back to Andy, and Jessie says,
Andy. It's
Yeah,
all
Andy,
he
Andy,
ever
Andy.
talks about.
"When he plays with you, let me guess. When he plays with you, you feel like you're alive. I used to have an Andy, and her name was Emily." And then we get just the world's saddest montage.
For me, the first, and this is the first. I started it on a plane at this point. I did have headphones. I remember because I do remember this tearing up and being like, Jesus, like this is the first for
heavy.
me heavy Toy Story moment in terms of like, wow, this is like hitting.
I was like, please don't ever do a montage like this again. And then I took my wife, at that time, fiance, to see Up. And then we had that fucking montage. And I was like, I've never held her hand so tightly in my life. I'm like, I want her to be
Even
just like
like
this, except for the death part. I don't want you to die.
The beginning of Finding Nemo, super dark.
Yeah.
Super dark.
Yeah.
What's up, Barrett?
What's that, Barrett?
Fun fact: the song that's playing during this montage.
Thank God it's not Randy Newman. Would have
He
ruined the
When
entire
Right.
She
thing.
it.
Loved Me is written by Randy Newman.
Yeah, but he's not
God
singing it.
damn
He would
it.
have ruined
He didn't
it.
sing it though, but
It's-
you guys were making fun of him for his lyrics last time.
It's Sarah McLachlan who does the like sad dog commercials. Yeah, and I was like, damn.
That's who you know. That's who you know Sarah McLachlan is. Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure. Nick, we're old.
Of course, we see Emily
You're
playing
referencing
with her.
Cheers and Seinfeld. You know?
All right, boy, it's been great having you. Bye.
That's because the guy's in this. We see, of course, her as a younger girl, Emily, playing with Jessie, and then kind of discarding her, and she falls under the bed, and then we get a cool little scene as the camera pulls out. She's still stuck under that bed. Lord knows she didn't move for no reason. She's very. It doesn't matter.
Toys have a responsibility not to be moved. When
But
they
in
replace
Andy's
them.
room, they're all going all over the place.
Do they all run back to their places?
It's true. Good point. We dolly out, and of course, we're seeing the things under the bed very indicatively changing. And as she's aging, we're seeing like more toys get stuck under there, and then finally makeup, and then we're seeing her grow up, and then it's the 70s, and it's just rock and roll and hallucinogenic drugs, and it's a time of
and
free
then
sex.
Suddenly she's on a balcony and there's wind blowing, there's free
Woodstock.
birds playing.
Hey,
She's smoking a fucking.
She was the girl from
smoking a
Forrest
bowl
Gump.
out of Jesse's
Jenny.
head. Yeah.
She was Jenny from
She
Forrest
was
Gump.
Jenny from Forrest Gump.
She's the original horse girl.
So sad. Of course, Emily, I don't know why she does this or how this worked out, but the whole montage ends with Emily driving to just the outskirts of town and dumping Jessie off at a
Where the
donation box.
Tri-County donation
There was
van
a-
is.
yeah, there's
And
a
it's
van.
also where they used to go play on that tree.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, they showed
Clearly, my mom didn't believe in donating things. We just threw shit out. That's what we used to do.
they have the tire swing, and that's where they went when she was a kid.
Oh, that's
There's
even sadder.
also the donation truck.
Nick said, that would have hit me harder had I.
Yeah,
If I would've heard that,
I should do what Andrea does and rewatch the movie like twice. Once for notes, once for impact, but I don't care. I've got you guys here again.
Yeah.
Woody goes, hey, that's real sad, but I'm going to
worth
leave
pointing
anyway.
out here, I think, this is the big
Fan
theory that I think makes sense for Emily, right? That Emily is actually Andy's mom. Because Emily, if you notice, Andy has
free
that
love. That's why.
Exactly.
And she never had a date.
Exactly.
She didn't know the dad as it was Woodstock.
Yeah,
She
totally.
was
Body
15,
fluids are
16
going
guys.
You kind of just applied the 70s thing yourself to it. Like, I don't know.
It is 70s.
It is 70s.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we see flower
Flower
power and all
power,
that stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, it's possible that
Yeah.
she's.
Well,
That's crazy.
the other thing's the hat, right? Andy's hat looks just like Jesse's hat, right? But
Yeah.
his is all worn and stuff.
And,
as
like,
if
and
it was
she-
an heirloom like Woody was. But it doesn't make sense to me why she would have kept Woody in the hat, but not him. But maybe it was a parent's move.
She learned her mistake. She was on all
Barrett,
doped
you
up on
seem like
drugs.
you know more about it. Is that
No,
Danielle?
I feel like you got the
big points?
major gist of it. She said Woody was a family heirloom, the hat being similar to Jesse's, and the psychedelic drugs that Nick said.
There you go.
Fascinating. Woody, of course, hears this whole story and goes, cool, I'm going to leave anyway.
Peace.
Bye. Don't care. But the prospector pulls him aside and he gets real with him. Almost like an intimidating part where he's like, do you really think Andy is going to take you to college? How long will this last?
I love that performance. He's so
Right.
good, dude.
And it makes sense, right? Because at some point, every
So
toy is going to
conniving.
get discarded, and
Yeah.
that's just how it goes. His argument is, of course, you can
So
go to this
depressing.
museum
And be cherished forever.
Be cherished forever by children behind glass. Of course, they're not going to play with you, but people will look at you, and you'll have a purpose forever.
Such a weird, like, connecting this to commentary of, like, doing what you need to do as a person or going out and, like, trying to be, like, super famous and popular, and, like, the argument between those two things.
Right.
I don't know. There's just there's
It's
always been
also like
something.
live forever,
Yeah.
but like not get played with
Yeah.
or have a short life.
Yeah.
It's deep. It's very, very meta. And,
It's a living hell to be these toys.
yeah, it's terrible.
Because like what, you're just gonna be abandoned, thrown away. Eventually, that's your life. That's
Eventually,
what you
you're
do.
just going to sit in the bottom of a trash heap, smelling trash for the
And
rest
apparently,
of your existence.
if we look at the
Until a
Bo
fire
Peep Woody
pierces you.
relationship, right? Like you have sexual urges.
Yeah.
Like you are just a small person.
I feel like they can still scissor though and grind and
Sure.
Now
maybe
she's
do
like
something.
porcelain, so I don't know how that.
But they're
works.
all kind of. Well, he's like
He's
cottony,
like-
so it'd be soft.
yeah.
I mean, when she
Fleshy.
kisses him, he gets the lipstick on her.
Right.
So like, there's something going on here.
She's a little too
There's
shiny.
a fluid exchange. I don't like how shiny
she
she is either.
She's from a lamp.
She
Even in the
shines bright
newest
like a
ones,
diamond.
she's very
Yeah.
shiny.
Of course,
Glossy.
You know, he says you can stay with us and be adored by children for generation. And Woody takes a moment and goes, you know what? Who am I to break up the Roundup gang? I'm staying. Back in Al's office,
drank the Kool-Aid.
tour guide Barbie has taken him to Al's office. The guys are looking for Woody. We get a fun scene where they ask the Ready to Rumble toys or whatever they are,
Yeah.
and they just start arguing and start punching each other,
Yeah.
which is great. Al comes in on the phone and starts faxing pictures of Woody to his buyer in Japan. And on the shelves, Buzz back on the shelf in the store, Buzz breaks free. In the office, we see the guys. They see a Polaroid that falls down and realize that he has Woody. And they jump in Al's bag. They don't know where Woody is, so they all jump in his little medicine bag that he has, hoping they'll take him to his friend. The Japanese buyer tells him he'll pay anything. Newman freaks out. Don't touch. And he says, don't touch my mustache, which is always for people who don't know that Japanese term. They always say, don't touch my mustache.
I don't know this.
It's a Japanese greeting term. I can't actually say the Japanese greeting term, but it sounds like that. If Jared Petty were here, he would let you know what it is.
So you're saying
It's like dotashi or something like that. That's how it sounds. But when people say it, they say, don't touch the mustache because they don't know how to speak Japanese. And now that I'm saying it, it's kind of culturally insensitive,
Yeah.
but we'll just move right on. Just Barrett, cut this part out.
Yeah.
Great.
well, the movie
Let's-
says that.
the
You
movie
said-
says it,
Yeah,
yes, I
and
mean.
that's the point.
And let's see. And then he takes off. Everyone is in the bag. Buzz looks over and sees Rex's tail as he's walking out and realizes all of his friends. There are a lot of things that are happening here, but we just need to get across the street. Buzz gives chase. He gives chase, and then he sees Al's car pull out and then pull right into the apartment. He's like, well, fuck. All right. Could have just done that the whole time. Dives right. He goes across the street. Let's see. Oh, he in order to get the door to trigger, he knocks down a display of Zurgs. So they all trigger, and then he walks out. And then, of course, what happens? Zurg comes to
Zurg
life, and he's like,
comes
must
to-
destroy Buzz Lightyear, which I thought was pretty cool. Let's see.
On that cliff note,
Yeah.
No cliffhanger. Dang it. Let's have a word from our sponsor. This episode of In Reviews brought to you by Upstart. As most of us has found out the hard way, getting into debt is easy and getting out is hard, especially if your FICO score isn't great. Thankfully, now there's Upstart.com, the revolutionary lending platform that knows you're more than a credit score. It offers smarter interest rates to help you pay off high interest credit card debt. Of course, Tim and me were just talking about this. We know about it all the time. Of course, one of his friends got into trouble in college, and that's how they get you. They get you on the hook with a credit card debt, then you can't get out. Let Upstart help you. Upstart goes beyond the traditional FICO score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of smaller interest rates. Upstart believes you're more than just a credit score. They believe in you and understand that. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in a few minutes without affecting your credit score. The best part, once the loan is approved, most people get their funds in the next business day. The next day, people! Over 200,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards, student loans, fund their wedding, and make large purchases. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment with Upstart. See why Upstart is ranked #1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/morning to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes, and it won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/morning. Our next sponsor, it's Liquid IV. Liquid IV is the fastest, most efficient way to stay hydrated. Trying to drink more water? Liquid IV hydrates you 2 to 3 times faster and more effectively than water alone, with the added bonus of vitamin C, B3, B5, B6, and B12. That's a lot of Bs, people! Let me tell you about it. Liquid IV is the fastest growing wellness brand. You can find them everywhere, even Costco. You can find their hydration multiplier sold at Costco's nationwide. All Liquid IV products utilize cellular transport technology, CTT to you and me, because we're in the know and the lingo, a specific ratio of glucose, sodium, and potassium. When mixed with 16 ounces of water, it helps your body absorb more of the water and nutrients you drink directly into your bloodstream. You might say, this is a weird pick for kind of funny. I'll have you know, Jen is using this before I even knew these guys were sponsoring us. She's been doing it when she goes out to do her workouts and stuff to get more from her water. And then she had me try it when I was like, I'm really dehydrated. And I drank it. And I was like, you know what? I feel more hydrated. I didn't say it immediately because it's not like instantaneous. It's not you're a sponge. But, you know, you use it and then you feel better. You know what I'm saying over here. With each purchase you make, Liquid IV donates 1 serving of the hydration multiplier to someone in need. It contains 5 essential vitamins, including more vitamin C than an orange and as much potassium as a banana. Of course, we love Liquid IV, as I just told you, Jen for real does. And I know you will too. Right now, my listeners get 25% off at liquidiv.com when you use my code KFMS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order on Liquid IV's website. Go to liquidiv.com, enter my promo code KFMS to get your savings and start getting better hydration today. That's liquidiv.com, promo code KFMS. Don't wait. Start hydrating properly. Back to you.
Bad Buzz and the guys, meanwhile, are in Al's car and they can't get out. And they spot the elevator, or they get out of the car eventually, and they spot the elevator stopping at, and Buzz calls it level 23, which I thought was cool. They strategize on how to get up there, but Bad Buzz finds an air vent and mobilizes the troops. They run through the vents, which Bad Buzz thinks is an entrance to Zurg's fortress, which is because it kind of is from like the video game, which is cool. A lot of parallels there. They find an elevator and Bad Buzz loosens his utility belt string, very similar to the 1989 Batman toy that I used to love and cherish, which is great. And then they all kind of climb up on it with him as he starts suction cupping up the walls. And they're like, we could just use the elevator. And he's like, no, I'll do it this way. It's great. Real Buzz, meanwhile, finds the open air vent and goes through. Upstairs, Al is negotiating on the phone with the UPS guy who will have to be there to pick up the toys in 15 minutes, which means we got ourselves a ticking clock, ladies and gentlemen. Jesse and the prospector are very excited to be leaving. So is Woody, actually. They dance. Meanwhile, Bad Buzz climbs up the elevator shaft with the guys in tow. Rex's tiny little arms can't hold on any longer. Buzz remembers his anti-gravity servos, and so he's like, I'm gonna let go. They're like, no, don't let go. It's really, really good. He lets go, of course, and what do they land on? Yeah, they land on the elevator, which then elevates them, but in perfectly delusional. Yeah, he's still doing that. He's still doing that.
That's one of those like one perfect shots on Twitter.
Of course, we look down and Good Buzz is actually just hanging on under the elevator. He's a lot more street smart, and he's hitched a ride.
He's seen some stuff, man.
He has indeed. Upstairs, Sheriff Woody does a great Dean Martin impression. Is it Dean Martin or is it John Wayne where he does the walk? Who does the walk? Maybe it's John Wayne. I think it's John Wayne. The
John
famous
Wayne
cowboy
is the-
walk.
yeah.
It's John
Then
Wayne.
that'd be John Wayne.
Yeah, probably. Which is great.
Dean Martin was just a famous alcoholic.
Hey, Dino was good.
He was good. I'm not taking away from that.
He was no Dino Spumoni.
There's a fun moment where everyone he's like, Woody saves the day again.
Off this fucking show.
Bullseye picks him up and they all kind of converse on him, and it's like they start tickling him. He's like, I'm very ticklish. They all start tickling him, which to them looks like fun, but then to the guys looks like he's being completely assaulted. The guys think he's being tortured, so they go, what should I do? And they go, Buzz tells him, Rex, you can use your head. He's like, oh, okay, use it. And they use his head as a battering ram, which is hilarious. Bullseye and Slink get into it, which I thought was cool. They grab Woody, and then Good Buzz shows up, and they're confused until Good Buzz opens up Bad Buzz's helmet. So like they're having the thing like who's who, and he just opens it up, and it's the same joke.
It's the same animation.
Yeah,
from
it's the
Good
exact
Buzz,
same
yeah.
animation.
Yeah.
That's great.
and he shows us the little foot.
Yeah, he
Andy on the bottom.
shows him Andy's foot. That's
Yeah, that
more
was
than
funny.
it's got
Yeah,
Andy
while
on.
he's choking, he just lifts his foot like it's me.
Let's see. Oh, right. And so they're trying to figure out how to get Bad Buzz to like endear himself to
I
Woody.
love
So he
this.
calls him like I forget what he tells him. He tells him something to the point where he's like a king. He's like, Your Majesty.
we have a 263 on our hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Your Majesty.
Let's see. And Woody is like, look, I'm staying. Straight up, I'm a collector's item. And Buzz tells him, you're not a collector's item. You are a toy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, which is mirroring
Flipping
what he
lines.
told to him back in the day. But Woody doesn't want to go. He can't go. He can't abandon the game, or they're all the gang, or they're all going back into storage. Plus, one more rip, and Andy's done with him. What does he do then? And there's a great moment where Buzz tells him that Woody once. Sorry. My notes are really crappy on this.
There's also a lot of
there's
cars
something he
outside.
said. There's something in that pat of stuffing of a toy who taught me that life's only worth living if you're being loved by a kid. And I came all this way to rescue that toy because I believe in him. And Woody tells him, look, man, you wasted your time. all those 20 blocks that you went, useless. I'm sticking with my gang. So Buzz and the gang bounce. Andy's coming home tonight. We better make sure there's someone there waiting for him. Really just digging the knife in deep here. The guy leaves, and Woody sees himself up on the TV screen singing the song from Mulan. You've got a friend in me. And he
make a
sees a
man of
kid coming to play with him. And scratches, and then he looks down at his own foot, and he scratches off the paint and realizes that he is in fact Andy's toy. And he realizes it, and the prospector and then he starts heading for the air vent. And the
He yells back
like,
to the guys.
Where you? He's like, yeah, guys, wait, hold on, it's me. Prospector's like, where are you going? And he goes, you're right, I can't stop Andy from growing up, but I wouldn't miss it for the world. Proving that I'll die
Good
in a
stuff.
trash heap. It's
Great
fine.
writing, dude.
Really, really good. But guess what? Prospector, not a good guy.
He's had enough of this.
Shocker. He's not in his box. There's a freaky moment where he looks over and he's not in his box anymore, and then we look back over and he's tightening the screw of the air vent with his axe with pickaxe.
Such a reveal.
It's intense.
It's like
intense.
Professor X like standing up or something. You're like, oh my god, whoa.
Exactly, which we all wish he
been
would,
fucking
because
with
that
it.
chair is just getting old. He says, "I've spent a life on the shelf, never being bought. It's my time to shine now." And then he's like, and then they're like, "Oh, you were the one that turned on the TV." And he's like, "Yeah, no shit." Of course, Buzz and the guys come back after hearing Woody's call, but they can't get through the air vent again because the screw's not loose anymore. Al comes back and grabs all the toys and he heads for the lobby. Buzz and the guys go to the elevator, but guess who's waiting for them in the air vent? Zurg. Pocket Zurg, I call it. They refer to him as Pocket Zurg, but I don't know why. Bad Buzz springs on him to take him on. While Good Buzz and the guys head to the emergency hatch on the elevator, Zurg gets the better of Bad Buzz, but no one seems to care. Surrounding Buzz Lightyear, he's like, I've surrounded Buzz Lightyear, number one. And he goes, never, you killed my father. This is a great moment where he's like, you killed my father. And he goes, no, Buzz, I am your father. And we get the no as the elevator goes down. Rex tells him he could have defeated Zurg the whole time. He just needed to believe in himself. Then he accidentally knocks Zurg through the elevator shaft, and that's it. He just kind of knocks him off with his tail. And he's like,
Zurg.
He's like, I finally defeated Zurg. And then Buzz goes, Father. This is a great moment. Of course, the gang chase Al, but their two ladies are already in the car. How are we going to catch him? And they look over. What do they see? And that's right. The Planet Pizza truck from the first movie with just the little yo, which is cool. And then we see all the aliens hanging from the rearview mirror, which I thought was cool. They tell the guys to use the wand of power, which is the stick shift, to make the car go. Meanwhile, they were like, Bad Buzz, you got to come with us. He's like, you know what, guys, I'm just going to hang back with my dad. We got a lot of catching up to do. And they start playing, and they start playing like catch, which is really cute. They arrive at, where's he going? That's right, the airport. They've saved the aliens' lives, who are in fact eternally grateful, and they keep saying that. Al hands the green suitcase over to the check-in desk, who puts it on the luggage belt, and the guys sneak over onto the luggage belt in none other than a pet holder, which I thought was cool. They'll get a little pet holder. Once we go through, we just need to find the case that Woody's held in, and it'll be all easy. And then what do they go through and they find? Just a bazillion bags on a bazillion conveyor belts.
It's like the fucking doors in Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they use the same like rigging.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They finally managed to catch up
but
to.
it's SF International Airport. They did research at SF International Airport. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what they all look like. I think Die Hard had a scene like that. Die Hard 2.
I know of Die Hard, yeah.
It was dope.
I know
guy.
Die Hard.
I was like, it's the first time I ever saw behind the curtain of the luggage, and I was like, wow, that's what it looks like. Terrifying.
Scary.
They catch up to the case, but the prospector ain't having no shit. He beats the hell out of them with a pickaxe, and he threatens to rip Woody's arm clean off, going as far as even just tear his shoulder, so he puts the tear back in. So which I thought was cool.
Hate to see it, dude.
You can come willingly, or I'll ship your ass to Japan in pieces. But before he gets a chance, the guys blind him with flash bulbs, which I thought was cool. And they subdue the prospector, and he goes, "Fools! Children ruin toys," and he's not wrong, because I remember torturing and just like lighting my toys on fire. I was a terrible person. It's true.
But in all this scene, I'm just thinking, like, the prospector is just so scary. Like,
it's scary.
I remember being really scared of him.
Yeah.
But man, they condemn him in this next scene to a lifetime of hell because they put him in a kid's, like a little girl's backpack, and what he says, it's time that you learn the meaning of playtime. And man. They put him in a Barbie backpack, and he's horrified because kids are terrible and draw all over things, and also Barbie is terrifying, like she's been traumatized beyond repair next to him, because she looks over, she's got
not traumatized.
No, she's terribly traumatized.
No, she likes it. She's turned around.
You'll love her. She's an artist or something like that.
She's an artist, right?
Which, by the way, reminded me of what 1989 popular movie starring Batman. Remember that scene?
Batman.
Right, exactly. Remember the scene where she's like, he's an artist, and takes off the mask and it's all burned? That's maybe what I'm bringing here to this table.
I mean, you're allowed to bring that interpretation, but I think that the Barbie was supportive of her owner's needs and wants.
The case. We still got to catch up to it. Jesse's still in there, but guess what? They're loading it onto that I don't know what you call it. I'm going to call it the fun train. No, the luggage train.
Tram.
Sure. No, just call it the luggage train.
Fun train.
We're calling it the fun train, everybody.
It's the fun train. That takes the luggage over to the plane. Buzz and Woody take off on the back of Bullseye, and they give chase. Woody catches up to the luggage train and runs after the green case, but it's too late. They load it onto the train. Woody sneaks aboard in a set of golf clubs and opens the green case to rescue Jesse. What if Andy doesn't like me, though? Should I go with you? And Woody's like, look, we don't have a lot of fucking time. They're going to close this thing down. But guess what? He's going to love you. Plus, guess what? He's got a little sister, right? Which is cute.
Why didn't you say so?
She's like, why didn't you say so? So they go to run, but no! Thwarted again. The door closes. The plane takes off, and they desperately search for an exit. And then someone remembered, hey, remember when Andy watched that movie like Nick's mom let him watch called Commando, where he sneaks out in the landing gear opening, and it's like, and then he cuts a guy's head off with a saw and stick around. This was the 80s, man.
Yeah, but I don't think, isn't it when he throws them, oh no, I'm thinking of the let off some steam.
No, that was last. Stick around is when he throws a knife through a guy. And that was in Predator, actually. Commando, he just throws saw blades at people and cuts the top of their head off. Awesome. I don't think there was a line associated with that. I'm just the cook. The lowly cook. Woody literally hangs on by a thread. Actually, so they go down, they sneak through the landing gear, and Woody literally hangs on by a thread while Buzz catches up to them, Bullseye. And then he uses his pull cord to like lasso around it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Right. Perfectly on the nut.
Yeah, he's so accurate.
And he tells Jesse to let go, just like the last episode of Roundup. But we don't. And she's like, "But we don't know how that ended." And he goes, "Let's find out."
It's so good.
Cool.
Dude, I had chills in this moment. That's like such a fucking
So she lets
MCU
go,
moment.
and they swing free, but the thing kind of comes off right at the last minute. But who's there to catch him? Buzz and Bullseye catch him. And that was. And she goes, "That was definitely Woody's finest hour," which is cool. A little homage to the show. And then another plane lands directly overhead, and they're like, "Let's go home." This is terrifying. Back at the house, Andy comes home and he looks for Woody on the shelf, but doesn't find him. Instead, the whole gang is posed nicely on the bed with a message on the Etch-a-Sketch that reads, "Welcome home, Andy." And Andy, being just a dumb fuck little kid, thinks that his mom did all this and doesn't question any of it.
Never
his
tells mom.
doesn't.
Really cool.
Never tells mom.
Can you imagine his mom walking into the same moment and being like, what?
I didn't do this.
Who came in here?
You did this.
It's terrifying. Terrifying. Burn the house. Burn the house.
Intruder.
Let's see.
I like that they show the shot at night.
Oh, right. They
like
show this out at night and they dolly out the window. And the luggage train's out there still. They like drove it back.
Is it the luggage train or the fun train? What are we calling it?
Call it the fun train.
And then the next morning, it's like the people like coming
the
out.
people
Like,
are drinking
their
coffee.
coffee.
They're like,
They're like, what the?
Of course, we get that Andy has fixed Woody's arm, and his whole arm's a little puffy. It's kind of wonky, but he's like, it's perfect. I wouldn't have it any other way. Jesse and Bullseye are finally part of the family again. They're probably family again. They have Andy's name on their feet, which is cool. And Buzz is a little taken by Jesse. There might be a little thing there. He tries to give her a compliment about her yarn of hair, but
He's flustered. He's in love.
He's a little bit in there.
Yeah.
She sees
buzzed.
that bus.
He's buzzing.
Buzzed. Love
Buzzing. Jug.
Love buzzed.
Nice try, guys.
You got.
Love
We're there.
Buzz.
Don't worry.
Okay.
You guys are. I was looking at my notes, but I was part of that. I wanted you guys to know
Thank you,
that
Nick.
geniusness. She, of course, looks over and sees that Buster is barking at the door, and he has to be let out because he's got to do his business. Slinky confirms this because I guess it's a moment where they can talk to each other.
Dogs
Dog to dog,
can talk toys. Toys can talk dogs.
which I thought that was really, really cool. So Jesse does the same thing that Buzz did in the first movie. She dives off, rides the Hot Wheels on the track, and then does the
Sick.
door.
Then Buzz gets a boner.
And Buzz literally gets hard, which is hilarious. Shoots his wings out. And then we see another commercial on the TV for Al's Toy Barn. And man, he
He's
is on the
devastated.
verge of
Sad.
suicide. he is lost out.
Can you imagine?
I like how it's live TV. Like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
a live commercial.
You get to Japan. It's like a 19-hour flight to go do this transaction.
And
You get there,
nothing's
and
there.
like your cases come out,
Empty.
no toys in them.
Like you wasted your
suck.
flight. You were expecting to pay for the flight back with the money you made
Yeah.
on the toys.
Right.
You got to just go to Japan and
At
wash
that-
dishes. You got to
but
wash
at
dishes.
that
Take out
point,
loans.
You would have to assume that like, could he sue or like get some sort of like payback for the airline?
No
'Cause
insurance,
and like in a weird way, like they were kind of responsible for that, right? Because they don't know toys are
Yeah, they don't know what happened to the bag.
Right.
So
But I think don't the back of your tickets say like we're not responsible?
No,
for
the
this?
ticket's not,
yeah.
but it's weird because he talks about the UPS guy, but I guess he just said I'll do it myself because UPS would have insured.
Well,
that.
he didn't
Just
say
let
Remember,
you
he
know.
asked how much it is to overnight it, and that's extortion.
Right.
Oh
So
right,
he's
he's like
gonna
I'll
do it himself.
do it himself.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like Thanos.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. We get
He
a
didn't pay
cute.
the $30 insurance. You know.
Should have paid it. Whenever they ask you, do you ever do that when they're like, "How much is this package?" You go $10,000. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna lose a fucking package. But you see the aliens who are still eternally grateful for having been saved, and they're with Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. She goes, "Oh my God, they're so cute. I want to adopt them." And so they look over at Mr. Potato Head and they go, "Daddy," which is great.
Well, it's
Weezy-
because you remember they were following him around like a god for saving them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Weezy-
I'm sorry, worth pointing out, I thought a redeemable moment for Potato Head, who has been a terrible spud for 2 movies.
Yeah.
But when the aliens are about to get out the window, is that what it is? He
Yeah,
reaches
yeah,
out and
he
grabs them,
grabs
right,
them.
and saves them. And that's
That
why
was
they
what it was.
owe him a life debt.
I missed that one. Not terrible. Just doing the best he can as the de facto leader. He wasn't elected. He just had to fill the void left by
Who?
both Buzz and Woody. Mr. Potato Head.
He's in,
Mr. P.
he's in the car with Buzz at that
I'm
time,
talking about
isn't he?
number 1, the first movie where you gave him so
He
much shit.
No, he was
I gave him
bad.
shit.
They were all dumb and they were bad people.
How dare you? They're toys, and even toys have to learn. You can teach a toy a new trick, an old toy new trick.
Stop clapping.
He's clapping for me though. Let it go. You know what I mean?
Guess who's back and who is fixed? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Wheezy. Mr. Shark found him an extra squeaker, which is great, and he feels great. In fact, he thinks he feels like a song's coming on, and he uses Mr. Mike to start crooning like Frank Sinatra and
Man.
Michael Bublé had a child together.
Warm
Yes.
voice.
Made each other
Beautiful.
one child of perfection, and it's a weird, cool Broadway version of that Mulan song that they keep playing, which is weird.
me.
He's got a "You Friend," and then it breaks out in like a full song and dance number, like a Broadway number, which is cool. Meanwhile, Buzz and Woody are just taking a moment to reflect. They look out the window at Andy and the family as they get in the car, and Buzz says, "Are you still worried?" And Woody goes, "Nah, it'll be fun while it lasts. Besides, when it all ends, I'll still have old Buzz Lightyear to keep me company for infinity and beyond."
God,
Oh,
goosebumps.
God, I know,
Goosebumps.
my heart.
Look at that.
you literally
Nick's
have
good. Nick's
goosebumps.
good.
And then I made a note here that asks, do toys ever die, or are they just like plastic vampires who live forever and never
Plastic
really knowing
vampires.
what it's like truly being a human?
I'm glad we
Plastic
have
vampires.
more notes.
There you go. The movie finishes out with the big Broadway musical number, You Got a Friend in Me, and then end credits.
Bloopers. What?
get
I
bloopers.
forgot they happened.
It's amazing.
I forgot these existed.
Blew
I
my
put-
mind.
So cheesy.
How much did this cost?
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, you had to make these bloopers. Like
Yeah.
you had to make. The
But it
extra
wasn't
cut.
like
It's
it wasn't
amazing.
like they were VO bloopers where it was
Yeah,
Tom Hanks
no.
and they
It
actually
was
screwed
like
up. They were bits
Yeah.
that they wrote,
Yeah.
including the one I put with the Bugs Life
microphone.
cameo.
It's so great.
Oh, yeah.
The
that
microphone
was-
coming in. But I think the best one to me was the Bugs Life cameo. Where it's like,
Life.
we're in a sequel, but it's not a Bugs Life sequel. And then they move the bushes aside, and it's just that scene when they're outside Al's apartment.
Honestly, I kind of hated the bloopers.
I hate them. I did not
love
like them.
them.
They're
They're
forced.
I
They're not
love
funny.
them.
They're a little cringy.
Love
They,
them.
I feel like back in the day when these debuted here, right? It wasn't Bugs Life, right? Was it here that the
Right,
bloopers
yeah.
debuted?
Yeah.
And from then on, we got several more
Yeah,
in other movies.
Cars has bloopers,
and I
yeah.
loved them as a kid. And now I'm looking back and I'm like, I don't like
kids'
this at
movies.
all.
I
It's
love
weird.
them.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like the
love them.
Woody riding on like Buzz's helmet and shit like 3 times. Like I don't know.
It's
That
so
stuff
great.
is still funny
The Cars
to me.
ones are so great because they go to like the drive-in and they're all Cars versions of the Pixar movies.
Oh, that's
It's
really cool.
amazing. It's
That's
so
cool.
great.
We get a lot of those, and then that's it. That's the end of the movie.
The end.
Done.
The end.
Andy,
Was there
hit
more?
it.
Did I miss something else?
No, that's great.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Bagu.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Bagu. I know where we're going. I forgot we were doing some sort of plot.
Welcome to Rad Guys Talk Bad Guys, a podcast within a podcast. I'm one of your rad guys hosting, Greg Miller, alongside Andy Cortez.
My hands are really itchy.
It's all the donuts. It's probably the
Do you
sugar.
think, I mean, of course, Tim
happened
Gettys,
here
an
today?
audience member of Ragu Bagu. His eyes falling out. It could be part of that.
It's just iPod.
It's possible. It's iPod.
You know what you should do? You should
Pud?
definitely put your hands in both your mouth and eyes at the same time now.
Somebody's cursed this office is what's happened.
scared.
And our first ever Rad Gal, Belinda Garcia. And there's the audience.
Belinda, what's it like being in an office that's just infested with all sorts of bacteria and disease? Is it fun
It's
for you?
great.
Cool.
It's like dodge. It's like a minefield.
Yeah,
You just,
definitely.
Like, dodge
It's a
them
challenge.
around.
Make sure
Challenge
you
yourself.
wash all of your clothes and
I do.
purify
I
yourself with
burn
fire when you go home.
everything
Good,
after I-
smart,
yeah.
smart.
It's time to talk about the villains of Toy
There's a
Story
lot of
2,
good
right? I think we have to put
bad guys.
Al in the front. Al's the main villain, right? But then we have to put the prospector in there as well.
I would agree. And Zurg. You got a Zurg in there as well.
No, he's
As
his
a-
father. It comes out at the end. That was
that's
all.
cute.
That was all just cute. It was never a threat. It was
Honestly,
all cute when he's just like, and he's shooting the balls, and like Buzz is just down low, and everybody else
I
is
think
doing
the
their thing
prospector is way more of a villain than Al, because Al is not doing any of this.
maliciously.
Maliciously.
except
Well,
when
right.
he
He
stole.
stole the doll, and he's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
exactly.
guess I guess like
Like, what
he's-
kind of piece of
I
shit
guess he's
steals
not
a
like,
doll
oh,
from a single mother at a fucking yard sale? Blow
And, like,
your
and-
brains
and
out,
also,
Al.
think about it this way.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's not like they don't know who this single mother is. She was on the news when her husband was kicked to death by a mule.
Yeah,
This
you're
was
right.
everywhere.
Wow.
Mule ran away from petting zoo, kicks man
Oh
to
my
death in
goodness.
house.
Yeah.
Made it all the
Baby
way to-
and Andy watch.
Belinda's experiencing more of like, where is this going to go? Where is this story going?
Like you just ride and you're just like, okay,
Just
keep
come,
going, you
strap
got
in,
it.
Buckle in.
strap in.
Yeah.
So I still give Al
For
the
sure.
main role.
But I guess-
Prospector doesn't even reveal he's a bad guy really
That's
until
what's
the very end.
scary about
That's,
him.
yeah, I feel like Al.
Luckily, this exact same plot won't be repeated next week. So don't
Yeah,
worry.
like if Woody like talks to Al and Al was like, "Fuck you, stupid toy," like that would make him like he's not doing this because he hates these toys. He's doing this because he just wants to make money. He's just
he's
like
the whole reason it started. If he wouldn't have stolen,
You're
in the
right.
very
He's
beginning.
definitely a
True.
bad guy. He's definitely an
But the
antagonist. in
prospector,
this.
yeah, no,
Excuse
for
me-
sure.
excuse me,
But I think
audience
the
member.
prospector is
We're not
like
looking at the chat.
the evil motherfucker.
He's bitter.
Yeah.
He never got
He's
bought.
conniving.
Yeah.
I'll give you. I'll put him in
He's
front
not
of Al
worth
if you want
anything
in terms of
unless
this-
he's with other like the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he lets you trust him the whole time. Puts it on Jesse.
Wow.
Evil.
Terrible,
Scary.
I
dude.
mean, really, he only does two bad things, though, right? He turns on the TV and then he locks him in. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the
He
worst guy.
jumps out of the
a little
box
bit of
and
a-
he's like, "Look, motherfucker."
He only rips half his arm off.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true,
don't forget
too.
that. Like, and the biggest offense of them all is he was a mint on card toy for a long time. Then he
Was
took
he?
himself out of the box.
Can you believe
We
that?
don't
though,
know
at this
that, though.
point?
But
He
that's
was
the thing.
lying.
At one point, he was, and he
Actually,
could have
no,
been.
he couldn't have because he
forever.
must have moved the. Turned on the remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, at one point he was, and then he realized I can just get out of this box whenever I want.
Yeah, nobody's
and he
paying
ruined his
attention.
own value, but no one knows.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would know because I would look in and I would know
They
that
don't- what?
I
They
would
don't
look in and see that
eat.
the
They
twisty
don't eat.
ties weren't perfect.
Yeah.
That's how you always know. You look in, are the twisty ties perfect?
Yeah.
Because if they
Yeah.
if they didn't do it, if it's not clean, it's not mint.
Hands are itchy, man.
Belinda Andy, right now, of course, Ragu Bagu Volume 4 has number 1 as Woody, Mr. P-Head, and Sid, all on
Right.
one line.
Yeah.
there.
Put 'em all together.
Where do you want to put Prospector / Al?
The top.
I'd put it at the top.
I
yeah,
agree.
for sure.
I agree 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You guys
I
nailed
think
it.
I think great movies go even further when they have terrible, scary villains.
Right.
And we saw that with MCU, where like,
Sure.
yeah, this movie is fine or whatever, but you know, this villain was really, really good. The Dormammu moment in Doctor Strange. I feel
Dormammu.
like, yeah,
Killmonger.
Dormammu.
Yeah.
Dormammu.
Okay, I mean, I like Black Panther anyway, but I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, Michael B. Jordan was so great. So yeah, I would definitely put this number 1. I thought they were terrifying. I thought he was very scary, and he scared
Yeah,
me a lot as a
totally.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because like we trust him, so then it's like he betrays the audience too, and then like Sid's like.
Point.
Sid's
Yeah,
just
Sid's
an evil
Sid.
kid.
Yeah,
Like,
there's. I mean, Woody sucked.
He's
He was
a
just a bad guy.
fucker, right?
Yeah,
I can say that right now. He's a fucker.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, all right, rad guys, bad guys. Of course, follow at Ragu Bagu Vids on Twitter. Volume 4 looks like this. Then number 2, Woody, Mr. P Head, Sid. Number 1, Prospector, Al. That's where it stands. Thank you for listening to another episode of Ragu Bagu Vids. Nick Scarpino.
Thanks, guys.
I'd like to be a part of this podcast.
We want you to be a part of this podcast. Remember, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny. You can submit your haiku in review. Due to a bank error in our favor of E3, we're recording this ahead of time, and no one thought to put up the haiku in review ahead of time. So that didn't happen. So
Real
don't
great
worry about
about
that.
that. Real great
Instead,
about
it's time to rank all the Toy Story movies. Show me the list.
I have to
This is
make a
hard.
graphic.
We don't have the list. All right, it's pretty easy. Number 1 right now is Toy Story.
Yeah.
Nick Scarpino, where do you want to put Toy Story
I think
2?
this goes above Toy Story.
Yeah, with a bullet?
Yeah, I do. I found this movie just thoroughly more enjoyable. I think at this point they're benefiting from having fleshed out these characters. You're getting the actors back. They have a much better rapport together. I don't know if they recorded in the same room or not, but I have to imagine they did because the scenes are really tight. And it's a heist movie, so it gets extra points for that.
Yeah.
Where it's more fun. It's more of an adventure, and that's what you want to see with these toys. You want to see them like kind of get out into the world and see how they interact.
Sure.
And it's got the great scene with the street and the cones. How can you hate it?
Yeah. Belinda?
I'm going to go with Toy Story 2 at number 1.
That's right. That's the right
Yeah,
shot.
I think
That's
it's
right
like, I think the writing is perfection. I think they were like, we already have these characters, they're already established, what can we do with them? And in the beginning you have a sci-fi, then you have a heist movie, then you have a Western at the end, like with the airport and stuff. And I think it just has all the great elements of great movies.
Andy?
Yeah, I'd agree with Nick and Belinda. You were mentioning earlier, these characters that we're growing to love and they're giving them more to do. You're seeing more of like these gimmicky sort of quirks that Rex with the arms and, Potato Head with the slinky, like all of them are like...
They all have more things to do.
Yeah,
They're all
exactly.
More fleshed out, I agree, obviously. But I even think that cheapens what this movie does. I think this is just a better movie.
Yeah.
Right? I think the script is better. I think the motivations are better. I think the characters are better. In a way that, sure, it benefits us that we already saw one Toy Story from it. But I think even there, it's just well done if this was your first one.
Yeah, like I did enjoy, again, the whole Woody feeling sort of betrayed in part 1. But I do think that the storyline here with the Prospector and Jesse and like, let's keep the family together. I love that like Woody at one point even turns and is like, I'm down to do this. And then he sees his true calling and where his heart really lies with back at home with Andy. And yeah, I think this movie's fucking great, dude. It's still up there. I think just in Pixar, period, it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, at the end of last episode, Tim was like, well, what did you think, Greg? And I was like, well, it's a kid's movie. It was Toy Story, right? This one, I think, totally is what we think of when I think of Toy Story being something that transcends a kid's movie. This is a movie that I was like, this is a great movie.
We got
like,
a boner joke.
And if you can put a boner joke in there, I'm all about it.
But that's true to form for Pixar. Is that Pixar's biggest strength is they make kids movie for adults.
Yeah,
right. And that's really what you see here, and that's probably why I'm responding to it too. Like I said, I remember watching this thinking I didn't like it that much because I was younger. And now watching it now, I'm like, oh, I get all those references. I get the references to Star Wars. I hear the sound effects. I get that they're like, hey, we're doing this for fans of all ages. Kids are going to love this, but if you're an adult, you're really going to dig this too. And I forget who made the point, but it is a much tighter script.
Yeah.
It's
a real movie.
It's a lot better. And again, you're getting not only the benefit of the cast, but also the crew probably was a lot of people from Pixar worked together for that 4 or 5 year period.
Sure.
They learned from their first one. So really, really good.
Just to do it officially then, raise your hand if you think Toy Story 2 is better than Toy Story 1. Everyone's hand is raised. Tim did not raise his hand. Tim's vote is that Toy Story 1 is better than Toy Story 2. And this may be why
It's
the
hard
gypsy
'cause
cursed
it's
him to lose an eye.
To be fair, I was gonna ask, can Tim see his hand?
Here's my hand up.
I can't see it.
Age well at all if he's got an eye patch.
It's his one eye only sees one hand.
He can't figure it out. He falls down. I'm like, raise your hand. He just falls off the chair. He's lost his vertigo.
Ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of Toy Story 2 and how would you rank them? Let us know in the comments of this YouTube video. If you're listening as a podcast, thank you so much. If you're
Sorry,
watching
Tim.
live on Tuesdays, we recorded it on Twitch. Thank you so much. I know we're not live right now, but you know what I mean. We'll be back with Toy Story 3 next week. But until then, Andy,
Time
Keep
to
playing.
play with the toys. That's a good one.
Keep on playing.
Yeah.